Hi everybody, it's Mrs. McPhail. Today, your learning target is I can name quantities greater than 1 with fractions and mixed numbers. Let's take a look at our vocabulary. A mixed number is a whole number and a proper fraction combined. So a whole number and proper fraction put together. I have a pizza on the side here that I've cut equally into 4 slices. And I also have one extra 1/4 piece from a second pizza. So my mixed number would be 1 and 1/4 written horizontally, 1 and 1/4 written vertically, and in word form, 1 and 1/4. A proper fraction, to remind you, is a fraction where the numerator is smaller than the denominator. Here we have a proper fraction. The 1/4 is proper because the numerator, the 1, is smaller than the denominator, the 4. I have a story for you. Pete the prairie dog has 3 apples. Did you know that he loves apples, especially the Macintosh ones? Well, he decided to cut one of those apples in half, and he ate one of those halves. Yum. Hey, Pete, where'd that apple go? Oh my gosh, what are you? Oh, you really do like apples. Wow, look at you eat that thing. I don't have any more. Okay. Okay, well after Pete ate that half of the apple, he still has one of his halves left, but then he cut his other 2 apples in half as well. Then he gave all of the half apples to his friends. So Mr. Nutty got 1/2, Giovanni the goat got a half, Clarence the chickadee, yep, he got a half. Bob the bear woke up from hibernation, he had a half, and Ricky the raccoon, oh man, he loves those apples too. So Pete was so nice to share. So my question for you is, how many half apples did Pete the prairie dog give away? If you said 2.5 apples, you would be correct. And if you said 5 halves, you'd also be correct. Interesting, huh? Now what do you notice about 2.5 and 5 halves? These are actually equivalent fractions. They name the same amount of apples. There's 2.5 apples, there's also 5 halves of apples that Pete the prairie dog gave away. Let's talk more about this. Let's take a look at how do we name fractional parts that are greater than 1. I have 2 circles here. Here's my first circle, here's my second circle. I folded each of these circles in half, all right? So my whole was the 1 piece. I folded it into half, so divided my whole into 2 equal parts so that each half looks like this, right? 1/2 of my pizza, another 1/2 of my pizza. And I did this to both circles, okay? Now I'm going to rip them in half. Ha ha ha! I love ripping paper. It's just fun. Oops! Well, there you go. Just pretend with me. You didn't see that happen. Okay, so I've chopped my pizzas in half. Unfortunately, I got a little bit more cheese on this side, but that's okay. Now, I want you to count with me for a second. 1/2, 2 halves, which is equal to 2/2, which is also equal to 1 whole, 3 halves. What? How would you write a fraction that names 3 halves? Well, if we had 3 halves, we would write 3 on top, the numerator, and since our whole is divided into 2 pieces, we would put this 2 on the bottom, 3 halves. This is different from the fractions we've been writing so far. Why is it different? It's different because this time our numerator is greater than our denominator. We call this an improper fraction. Let's take a look at why 3 halves is the same as 1 and 1/2. In my top circles here, I have 2 of them, by the way, and I have 2 circles on the bottom. But in my first pair of circles up here, I'm just going to divide both of them in half, just like I did with my little yellow slices before. Just like that. So I've divided my 1 whole into 2 pieces, right? So each of these are worth 1/2. Even though I have 2 circles, each of them is still, each piece is still equal to 1/2, okay? So if I wanted 3 of the halves, 1, 2, 3. I shaded 3 of the halves, so that would be equal to 3 halves. Let's take a look at the bottom. This time I'm only going to divide one of my circles. I'm going to divide this one in half, so my whole was divided into half. I didn't divide this piece, it stays 1 whole. Watch what I do now. I've shaded 1 whole over here and then half of this whole that I divided. So I shaded 1 and 1/2. Is that the same amount of space that I've shaded? If you said yes, you'd be correct. It is the same space that I've shaded, it's just written in a different way. This is the mixed number, 1 and 1/2. This is the improper fraction, 3 halves. Now I have my 2 circles back again, although this time I have something fun. I have cookies for you, okay? Now, both of these are whole cookies, and I've divided each of these into fourths. So I broke this cookie into fourths and this cookie into fourths, all right? Now, I ended up with 6 pieces over here. So I have 6 pieces. So how many fourths? I have 6 fourths. We can count them. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4, 5/4, and 6/4. So we have 6 fourths. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide my wholes over here into 4 pieces because I split each of my cookie into 4 equal pieces. At least I tried to get them as equal as I could. Sometimes when you break a cookie into anything more than half, it becomes really difficult to get clean edges. So 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, and 4/4, and the same over here. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, and 4/4. So if I have 6/4, watch what I tried to do. I'm going to place all of my pieces together. There's 1/4 and 2/4, 3/4, and 4/4. Doesn't really fit together because I've been playing with it too much. And then I have another fourth, so now I have 1 and 1/4. And here's 1 and 2/4. So I've placed all of my cookies, so this is 1 and 2 pieces out of 4 pieces. So I can write my fraction 1 and 2/4, but look at this. I want to show you something. If I were to take these off and shade in those areas, you can see that, I should move it this way for you to see a little bit better, like we had before. It's the same space taken up, just like on our old models. It's the same space we've shaded. We're just working with a different piece of, or a different size of the denominator, okay? So we can write it 1 and 2/4, 1 whole, and 2 out of the other 4 pieces. We also know that that's equal to 1 1/2. Now you remember that I had 6 of these little fourths, okay? So let's count them again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I had 6 fourths. And since I divided my whole into 4 pieces, that would be my improper fraction. So 6/4 is equal to 1 and 1/2. Now because our circle is 1, or 1 whole, 6/4 is just half more than 1. So these are equivalent, all right? This is the mixed number because we have the whole number, and then we have the improper fraction, or the proper fraction. So we have the whole number in the proper fraction, where the numerator is less than denominator, and this would be our improper fraction, because our numerator is greater than our denominator.